Welcome back guys to the Minecraft Military Force. Today we're going to take a look at Elcestrus military builds. He is a sci-fi builder from the UK and he has his own tutorial channel. So here we have the Halo section, lots of good stuff here, and over here is the Star Wars section. And this is just like a really small sample just to show you guys his builds. He has quite a lot on his own channel. I think he has over like 400 videos. So if you're into sci-fi builds, go check out his channel if you haven't already. And by the way, thanks to him for providing this map for me. So first off, I'll start off in the Halo section because I do like Halo more than Star Wars. Here we have the UNSC Hornet. This appeared in Halo 3. It's a really cool build. And I'm not sure exactly what to call this because it's sort of like a helicopter, but it's like hovering with fans. There's a lot of cool details in this build. You know, we got the missile launchers here. And I do like how the fan there has a jet of air coming down below. And you can just stand here on the side to ride the Hornet. And this is in 2:1 scale. So it's a bit bigger than in 1.5:1 scale. But you may have to build it in this scale just to fit in all these details. And next up we have the Halo Pelican, and I think this is the Halo 3 version of it. The Pelican's definitely one of my favorite vehicles. It's basically like a troop transporter ship, and it always gets crashed in Halo. I remember I was trying to build one back in the day in Minecraft, and it's kind of hard, so I think Elcestrus did a pretty good job. We have the landing gear pulling out, so this is definitely in landed mode. And if you go on the inside, here's what it looks like. This is where the troops sit, and in the front this is going to be the cockpit, so that's pretty cool. And in the game you can add in a Warhog or just attached here somehow, maybe magnetically or something like a force field. Here's a look at the engines. Pretty cool. And next up we have the Vulture. Now this is actually from Halo Wars, the real-time strategy game RTS. And yeah, it's like one of the most coolest UNSC vehicles. It's really nice to see this built in Minecraft. It's basically like a gunship. Has these really large air intakes in the front. You got the cockpit, and here's a view of it down below. Yeah, overall really cool. And then next up we have from Halo Reach, the Falcon. It's pretty cool. It's also like a transport ship, but it also has these door gunners on the side, so that is pretty cool. Machine guns both sides and some seating capacity over here. It cannot go into atmosphere because this whole place in the middle is all exposed. But yeah, it's a really iconic vehicle from Halo Reach. We got a machine gun here in the front, and there's the cockpit, the engines, and you know, all the jets and the rotor blades. It's kind of like a tilt rotor aircraft as well, because these rotor blades, they rotate in the front just like the V-22 Osprey. This is like the Halo version of it. Next up we have the Banished Phantom. Now this is also a troop transporter. I'm not too familiar with this one in particular because it's one of the newer Halos, and like maybe it's in Halo Infinite or Halo Wars 2. I'm not sure exactly. There's this really large section in the front. I don't really recognize this. Is it supposed to be some kind of giant gun? Maybe. But yeah, here's a look at the back of it. And if we go inside, yeah, there's sort of an interior, although it's just mainly like the gravity lift. This is where you can ferry troops. And it's all colored in red, so this is not like the regular Covenant. It's sort of like the Banished, which is a new form of the Covenant. And next up we have the Spirit Dropship. This appeared in Halo 1. I remember this really well because Halo 1 was one of the first games I played in, and it's still pretty iconic to this day. It would first appear in the mission Halo when you first land on Halo, and all the troops, they're like standing on here and they drop off. In hindsight, it's kind of a weird way to deploy troops, but yeah, it's kind of like a giant tuning fork as well. And we got like some kind of like force field here in the middle, and at one point Captain Keyes can drive it. And fun fact, I think in Halo 1 the engineer is actually an AI that controls it. And here's the ball gun that's also attached, so it's also armed. I think Elcestrus did a pretty good job with this, like a really accurate representation. And these past two builds are in 1:1 scale. Apparently he says the Falcon is in 2:1, so I don't know. The Falcon must be really small if it's already small compared to the rest. But anyways, let's go take a look at the Longsword fighter. Now this appeared in Halo 1. When you're escaping Halo, and also in the beginning they show it a little bit, a little convoy. It's basically like the UNSC's main fighter to fight against the Covenant, and it does have a ramp over here. Which you do enter in the last mission just to escape from Halo from the flood. Go inside here, and this is the cockpit, and you can't really see out of it. It's all like blocked out, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's interior to his builds, and look at all this detail on the inside. We got the giant engines on the sides, and it's a pretty cool sci-fi fighter jet. Here's a look at the back. at all the detail. And here's a look at the engines in the back. They also appeared in Halo 2, Halo 3. Did they appear in Halo 4? I don't think so. So next up we have the Covenant Assault Ship, or CAS. It is a really huge ship in the game, although he did build it into 1 to 100 to 1 scale, so it's super small. But yeah, he put in a lot of detail in this. In the game, this is like one of the largest Covenant capital ships, and they could fit in a frigate in one of its landing bays. Here's a look of it all around. Pretty cool ship. Alright, so that is all for the Halo section of it. Now we're going to move on to the Star Wars section. So first off, we're going to take a look at this. It's the Consular class cruiser, aka the Republic frigate. It was seen in episode 1, right in the very beginning, and then later I think in the Clone Wars. Let's take a look at the front. Here's the bridge. They added some detail in this. And this is actually armed with a lot of things. Even got like a little radar thing there. But here's a gun over here. Then on the side we got 2 more guns over here. Then some on the bottom. And I don't know what these balls are. Got a lot of these greeble detail here on the side. Just random things just to make things look more detailed in the Star Wars world. But yeah, he did a pretty good job. So another radar here. Got the Republic stripes. And in the back we got the 3 engines. Pretty cool. They have a nice glow to them. Really well detailed. And there's also another gun on top. And this is built in 1 to 1 scale. Alright, so next up we have this, which is the Ghost, and this is featured in Star Wars Rebels. Now, I don't really watch Star Wars Rebels. I only seen some clips on YouTube with them using the AT-AT to fight the AT-AT, but yeah, apparently this is their ship. Let's take a look on the inside. If you're into Star Wars, you probably can recognize all of this, but I don't really do. Pretty cool that he added all this on the inside of it. It's a fairly large ship, and even got like landing gear. And here's a look at it from the back view, and apparently this is built in 2 to 1 scale, so this is actually bigger than it's supposed to be compared to the cruiser there. Then next up, one of my favorite Star Wars vehicles, the Republic Gunship, also known as the LAAT, or LAAT, Low Altitude Assault Transport, and this is built in 2 to 1 scale. Really cool design. I think Elcestrus did an amazing job getting it right. But yeah, let's go take a look at all these details. He has a lot of these yellow markings on the side. Got the ball turrets right there, and also on the wing. Got some more guns in the front. Here's the cockpit, and over here the rocket launchers that actually pop out, and the engines. Another gun here in the back. So this thing is just like fully armed, and it's also a troop transporter, so you can hang on to this part over here. And on the sides there's these doors, which have actually, these are really huge holes on the side. Elcestrus, I think these are a little bit too big, but besides that, I think it's a pretty cool gunship. So next up we have Jabba the Hutt's sail barge, and this appeared in Star Wars Return of the Jedi, where Han Solo is going to be executed. But yeah, here's what it looks like. Got some red sails on the top, and here's the inside. Here we got a gun here, and yeah. Next up we have this. It's apparently a TIE silencer from one of the newer Star Wars films. This is Kylo Ren's First Order, his ship, I guess. Here's what it looks like. And I don't know much about it either. You can tell it's from the First Order because it has these red, and I guess that's one thing Star Wars and Halo has in common. Like all the new stuff, they share the red, like with the Banished and the First Order. And these past 3 builds are in 2 to 1 scale. This is a really large Imperial Star Destroyer. It's a Venator class, Venator. I don't know which way to say it. Venator class, I think that's how you say it. But check out all the detail here on the side. Lots of greeble. And you might notice it is purely gray. There is no that Republic striping that goes across. So this is probably like the end of episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, where they start to change into the Empire. Wow, look at all these engines here in the back. I think he got the shape quite right. And this is built in 1 to 10 scale. And let's go see the inside, if there is an interior. Let's see, it's like empty here, but there is something here. This is sort of like a command room, although I think it's really supposed to be right here, but I guess he has another room over here. So here's the control center, all the workers checking out all the things. Got some hologram table here, and yeah, pretty cool that he has somewhat of an interior. And yeah, let's go take a look at the next build. So over here we have from the Clone Wars, this is the AT-AT. I remember I had a Lego set of this a long time ago. Yeah, one of the most iconic Republic Army fighting vehicles, I guess. It is a walker with 6 legs, and they have a lot of laser guns. So there's like 4 here. A large main gun here used to shoot down Obi-Wan Kenobis, doing the execute order 66. Let's actually, can you sit in the gun? Yes, you can. Here's the view of it, apparently. And in the back, we have 2 more of these guns. Here's a look at the underside. And apparently this is built into the 1 scale. Alright, so our last build of the day, this is going to be the AAT, the Armored Assault Tank used by the Trade Federation and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, the CIS. Which is a different CIS from the real world, which is like Russia and like the ex-Soviet countries. But yeah, let's go take a look at this. It's featured in like the Battle of Naboo right in the beginning. So I think later in the Clone Wars they changed the color to gray and blue. Here's a look at it all around. Yeah, I think he did a pretty accurate representation. And yeah, that's pretty much it for all the builds of Elcestrus. Now, if you guys are interested in any of these, he does have tutorials on his channel if you guys want to build them. Both Star Wars and Halo, or maybe you can ask him to build some stuff for you. And he does deserve some more views, so go show him some love. Go on his channel and then leave a comment. And this is just a small portion of what he has. He has over 400 videos on his channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.